All right, we are back. Episode 2. We were just standing here a moment ago. I just like to break them up into episodes so that people don't have to worry about like a 2.5 hour long play. Much easier to find things if I can title each section appropriately. What was this that dropped? Orion Preacher Shield. Well, that's decent. We can put that on there so that we're not just open handing it. Let's see if the moveset's different. Okay. Switch to the one-handed shield. That's our attack with a shield. Let's see without the shield. Seems the same. Is it any faster? Alright, so it always seems superior to have something in your offhand. And then if you want to two-hand it, just hit tab. And you'll switch to two-hand. Alright, let's run around with a shield. Alright, that looked effective. We're good with that. Little pumpkin thing. Oh, well, I threw a rock at you. Now tell us who got killed by somebody up there. That's a bait. This pumpkin's baiting me. Alright, from what I understand, I have read that a shield, like a light shield, gives you a better parry window than a medium shield, gives you a better parry window than a heavy shield. I don't know this. I do know when I was playing with the wife and I was lagging because we were on multiplayer, it was much easier to parry with a shield than it was dual wielding. So I feel like the size of the parry window might scale with these things, but we'll test it out. We're not planning on launching ourselves into any particular mode with this character. Like I said, this is just a test character to answer the questions that nobody else answered for me. 3,000 points. Put a point in Radiance, put a point in Inferno. Once we get enough points where all of these are at, say, 15, we might want to start putting points in Endurance and Vitality because this is going to get very tedious with the boss. In fact, until I get spells, well, you might want to do that now. Just go straight down the list and just keep going. Because that'll enable us to use maybe not the most items possible without having to respec, but at the very least it'll allow us to play through the game without so much annoyance. I'll tell you what, if you play this game and you find it irritating, jack this stat vitality up to about 40. You'll find the game is much more tolerable. Alright, so we have a bunch of Wither health currently, the gray bar in the top left of my screen. And what Wither health basically means is it's not real health, it's like temporary health. If I hit monsters, I regain it as real health. But if I don't hit monsters, if they hit me when I have a gray bar, I lose the entire gray bar plus the damage from the attack. So it doesn't scale their damage any harder, it just makes it so you're in a really high risk, high reward playstyle. I'm going to tumble through all you because you seem to turn into skeletons if I don't.
Someone! Help me, please!
Oh, that's dramatic, good lord. Alright. If we're going to climb up here, this is why we didn't rest. You see, this is the area we just walked through. All these monsters would have respawned if we rest. So now we have a little less annoyance. Now, if you're trying to farm vigor, feel free. Sometimes I'll do that. I'll do very inefficient routes, but I don't want to farm vigor right now. I just want to get it done quickly. Now we'll rest. Try to upgrade ourselves again. Give ourselves a little radiance so we can play with that when it comes. Which I feel like maybe I should turn off multiplayer just so it doesn't lag. Oh, so you can just turn it right back on. Okay. Yeah, sure. That's fine. I don't want to be lagging. And yes, this game will lag in multiplayer even if you're not actually playing with somebody else, which is new for me. Oh, you want to kick me, do you? That was a hell of a lunge. Throw a rock. That's a drop I don't want to do. There's no way anything happens poorly to me if I jump in this water. Right? Right? And we're dead. Now let's go grab this. Kill all these things. I feel like if you can't kill them, like that one, they turn into zombies. Work our way through nice and slow. Jumping into things that might turn into zombies, probably not the smartest idea, but... Oh, that's not good. This is, like I said, I'm going to try to espouse the slow and steady method of progression because every complaint I have had personally with this game has been during those times when I'm trying to hurry through and cheat the system by sprinting past encounters and similar things. I have found that this game is far more enjoyable when you really just treat it like a slow adventure style game. And you just take your time, walk your way through it. We just throw rocks for fun. That's right. Pilgrim hood? Is that any better than our current hood? Nope. This condemned hood. Pretty wicked. I do like that they order them in terms of weight and not stats. Because some stats are better for certain situations. That's one thing that I had to get used to. I usually like finding what's best for my build in terms of gear and then sticking with it, but in this game you really can't. You really need to change your weapons and your gear. Well, not necessarily your weapons, but your gear. You need to change quite a bit. I'm kicking that just in case, because I have a feeling this could go very poorly. Oh yeah, this is definitely going to go poorly. We're going to run this way so we get everybody together. No, sir. Double swing from you. Let's move so you're on the same side. Lunge, nice. Alright, that guy's launching fireballs at me. Not a big deal. Pick this up. Go dodge to kill this guy. We could have made this much easier for ourselves simply by transitioning out of Umbral right here. But, like I said, I'm not ever going to be accused of being intelligent. Alright. Now, if you guys remember earlier, this is where we just were down here. We came through the water that we died in, ran over there. This was a wall in the Umbral. You can see it if you pull your lantern up. There's a wall there, so we couldn't come up here. So now we're up here in the same area. And now we're getting ready for the first major boss fight, Pieta. Holy Ward. That should usually... That's the only way I've found that this game instructs you as to what a boss damage type is usually you find a ward right before you get to the boss. This is the tutorial about vestige seeds. If you don't understand vestige seeds, when you hold the lamp up, the glowing F in the bottom right corner, you could set your own basically checkpoint. Which for me is beneficial, so I can upgrade my points. Because walking into a boss fight without upgrading your points means you're going to lose your points. Much better to spend them all. That way you don't feel bad for dying over and over and over like I'm bound to do. Alright, here we go. Now for this fight, I highly recommend against Pieta putting on some fire salts. I don't ever use this stuff early game. I probably should. I'm one of those players that like saves everything to the very last part of the game and then never uses it, which is really bad. I need to break that habit. But I'm going to be using fire salts, Holy Ward maybe against Radiant Magic. I don't think we're going to get hit by anything, but wonder. We'll try it out, see how well that does. Increases stamina regen. Did I get that ring? Yes, I did. I love this ring. Increases maximum stamina and stamina regen rate. Helps a lot when you're early game and you're getting tired. So we'll try to dabble a little bit with the Holy Ward and the Fire Salts. We'll see what happens. Might as well experiment while playing. I do know there are more Fire Salts around here, like if I grab them from here. Ow! Okay. Unnecessary to take that damage. Grab some more Fire Salts just so when we inevitably mess this up.
O holy Aureus, by your radiance grant me the strength to continue to endure these dark days, to lay bare the path to salvation for my wayward brothers and sisters, so we may walk it together, and to strike down all those who would see our will defied. Even as our suffering continued, I honored my pledge of patience to the exactor. And yet you now appear before me, a stranger, bearing what was not yours to receive. A betrayal made flesh, and one I cannot brook.
I feel her intro video is one of the best ones in the game, because it's one I totally understand. Like, the way she describes what she's feeling is so understandable from her perspective that it's actually... Alright, lay down. It's actually beneficial to have her, you know, so she just... They did the character of a paladin who's, like, offended that they weren't chosen very well. Get stunned. And that, now you should change your form soon. Now she gets her full stagger bar back, but we don't care. You want to stand out of the middle for this one. Like I said, going slow against this chick is the easiest way to do it. I should not have blocked there. That's okay. Another parry. Dodge. Whenever she pulls up like that, that will mangle your health if you get hit. Dodge that. Dodge that. She's gonna do it again, so dodge that. Where's she going? Oh, here's where she summons her little sisters. Just watch where they go and stay in the opposite part. I'm in the middle now because they're off on the sides. Here we go. Get a grievous wound. Dodge that. Fairly simple. What's this? Oh, quick little attack and then a quick stab from her. There we go. Okay, would you just come here? Oh, I hate this one. Oh, come on. Sisters, really? Throw a rock at you just for... Oh, I did not pay attention to the sisters. Don't do what I did. Use a potion. Oh, that's annoying. Ooh, that was a close one. Alright. Come on, hit me. I can parry you, that's easier. Oh, that was no windup. Alright, so sometimes Pieta will do that, where she'll have 0 windup when she should. It's quite irritating. but you can't get away from it. This boss and this game in general sort of punishes you if you want to do things the way they teach you to do things. It gets very painful. Dodge. Oh, okay. See, they teach you to dodge, so when she grabs you, the mechanic there is she charges up her hand, she dashes forward to grab you, and if you dodge at the right time, in the right direction, she'll still sometimes grab you. It's sort of irritating, but perfect example of even if you know all the mechanics and you can play them well, you'll still sometimes die in this game. It's just a frustratingly annoying part of this game, but it's unfortunately important to get used to because it will happen. The Congregator of Flesh is a good example for a boss of that. If that's a spoiler, then you know way more than you should. Something that newer players can do, if they prefer, is you can summon the Iron Wayfarer to help you out here. I hate it because, at least against this boss, he distracts me more than he distracts her. Parries, a couple damage hits in for fun. Parry, let's get another dodge, the lightning bolt. Come on, one more parry. Oh. Come on. There you go. Oops, I messed up there. I always walk towards the attacks. It feels like the parry's a little easier to land when you do that. I don't know why. Oh, she's transitioning. Whoops. Alright, when she transitions, good time to grab your vigor. Also, when you're picking up your vigor, you can animation cancel it. See, that time I dodged the same. Perhaps if you dodge towards her hand, it's better? I'm not sure. Alright, let's give ourselves the fire salts now that we know they're going to go to the outside. The first time the sisters appear, or whatever those are, they always go to the outside. So it's very easy to predict your movements around that. Would you just fight me? Oh, here she goes again. No. That's rude. Where's it going? Okay. If you're not sure what she's doing, it's often better to dodge than to try to predict and get some chip damage in there. No. I parried that. I should have blocked it. See, I have all wither health, and now that I'm doing damage, she's giving my health back to me. Yep, I knew that was coming. You're very difficult to hit, Pieta. There we go. Got her. Alright, here comes the terrible graphic blood video. Alright, so we brought her back from the dead, and she immediately killed herself, jumping off the cliff. You'll see in a moment that's not the actual case, but
Brothers and sisters,
there's
you
more to
honor
get
us
over there
and
in that
all who came
direction.
before you with your
Another one of those
sacrifices.
proselyte
While I
fire
wish
guys,
they were
but we'll grab that
unnecessary,
later.
my wishes
We'll
will
have to
not
return
ease
here,
your
spoiler
suffering,
alert,
but I
later
pray
for
my
a
sorcery does.
Merchant that we have to rescue. Sure, let's escape. These remembrance of Pietas and all that, the remembrances you get of major bosses let you buy different loot from the merchants in the town. Here's the town.
Welcome, Dark Crusader.
Actually, sir, I did not select Dark Crusader. I selected the Condemned. So if you could get that correct, that'd be great. Thanks. I'll do a quick sprint through, show you guys, everyone. This guy usually isn't here. He's around the corner. I'm just exhausting his dialogue. Go back and look at it and pause. There we go. He sells holy things, it looks like. Neophyte dagger. Purger axe. That looks like way more damage. And it scales better. See, that's something people want to know. Even though Purger axe says E scaling and E scaling on strength and agility, they have the same requirements, 10 strength, 10 agility, E scaling, versus D minus scaling, D minus scaling. So you'd think even with my 10 strength and 10 agility, we would have +2 on the short sword, but instead we have +2 on the axe. Now, that might be a balancing factor because the bleed on the short sword doesn't exist on the axe. There's 70 bleed on the short sword, none on the axe, but nowhere does it tell you that. It doesn't tell you that the short sword, despite being heavier, does way less damage. And even though the scaling on the axe says it's worse, it's actually higher damage. Why is that? I can't find that anywhere on Wikipedia articles or in any other guide videos, so I'm trying to solve all these problems so we have one place where we can go and look and discover all this. And then after doing all these 30-minute playthroughs, I will Radiant weapon, raise your weapon and imbue it with radiance. 18 radiance, oh boy. Minor holy salts. I haven't dabbled in the PvP stuff, but I believe this is PvP stuff. Which is silly, it's just a vigor sink. Preacher hat, penitent capes. We'll eventually get a lot of this stuff. For example, this will be really good against holy bosses. But yeah, those sorts of things drive me crazy in games when I'm looking and I see, why is this a D minus strength scaling and yet +0 physical, but the one above is a D minus strength scaling +1? That's most likely because the agility and strength add together on the hollowed condemnation, but nowhere does it explain it. So I want to put it in one place for everybody to see exactly how it works. Do we have enough money to buy a bunch of this stuff? Yeah. Let's buy this catalyst. And this weapon. And this weapon. And this weapon. Just one. We don't need a whole bunch of them. Spend all our money for science. Radiant flare. Sure. Healing radiance. Sure. Radiant weapon. Sure. We'll just buy everything we can so we have everything to dabble with. I don't care about buying all of the armor pieces. I just care about buying all the weapons for testing. Now we'll talk to
By
Pieta.
Aureus'
We
and
literally
to
just
think
beat you
when
to
all
death.
to deliver, forgive me, lad. I'm
I
Pieta,
still think
so
this is the
too,
best character
whether contained within, should you bring them to the
in
meek
this
and
game.
a dear fellow.
You can tell it's the first boss because they clearly put their time into her. Her story is believable. If you were a wholly obsessed paladin, dedicating yourself to a deity of some kind, to the point that your blood becomes holy like this, which I still haven't figured out. How is her blood holy? It's healing me? Then how did I have a healing potion before I killed you? Exactly. But it's very believable. She's offended. She thinks she's dedicated her life to this god Aureus, and he didn't reward her, so she's offended. And if you put yourself in her position, it's believable. Alright, let's see what this goofball has. A lot of these are starting weapons. What is this? Mornstead? Yeah, Hollowed Knight. So if you're playing the Hollowed Knight or the Mornstead Infantry, you get those. Partisan if you play the Partisan. So I'm not interested in getting this stuff just for posterity's sake. Ring of Duty, Vitality and Endurance. Generally, I've found with rings, if it says 2 stats, it raises each one by only +1. And if it says 1 stat, it raises it by +3. Obviously, +3 stats are better than +2 if you just look at them as if they're extra levels. Shields I have not dabbled in other than the light shields and the medium shields I've randomly found. But I saw a shield. There was a multiplayer bug when I joined my wife's game. When I first talked to that gentleman over there, the Exactor, he was selling me end game items for some reason.
Judgment.
For one, and then she spoke to him and it ruined the whole thing. But I was able to buy items. There were some shields that had like 85% or 80 something percent block protection. I was thinking that was pretty crazy. All right, Hallowed Knight Sword. That's, I believe, the Hallowed Knight starts with that, right? Yeah. Blackfeather Ranger starts with that. Mornstead Infantry starts with that. Mornstead Pike. Eventually, we're going to buy all of these. In fact, we're going to try to buy most of them now just for testing. But we won't be able to afford it.
Our Immaculate Lady will bring redemption.
See if we can sell anything we have duplicates of. Duplicates. There we go. Wooden Cross. Now, see, if we wanted to play, we could save 2 of them for dual wielding, but I don't really care about that. I don't see a place where Pilgrim bandages would be beneficial, but I'll hold on to them just in case. There's a lot of weird things you have to do in this game, like put random suits of armor on
In Radiance,
to activate
judgment.
some gibberish with a
Our
character.
Immaculate Lady will bring redemption.
I'll sell you something else instead. Unripe berries to increase stamina regeneration. I've never seen a point in that.
In Radiance, judgment.
There we go. Old Mornstead Pike.
Our Immaculate Lady will
Alright.
bring redemption.
Now we can go up here and activate the Morhu.
The lamp must be born.
I love this guy.
The favored child makes them only then.
His attitude, he doesn't care. He's just hiding in the death world in a holy temple. He just chancing. But this is where you buy most of your Umbral stuff. And by Umbral, I mean a combination of Radiance and Inferno. If you have both, you can do Umbral stuff. So we need to eventually buy this. I don't know why we need to buy spells. Maybe we don't. But I feel like it would be beneficial to just buy everything that's a weapon or weapon style or attack or whatever. Alright. That's a good stopping point for our episode here. We'll take a rest now that we've activated the vestige of Ethrig. And we'll see you guys on the next one.